Right guys, so although it's not part of your show me and tell me question, this one here is a screen washer, and that's for your windscreen. So you fill this up, the water in here goes through the system through a pump, comes out and washes your front windscreen. Now if you look in there, you can see I've got some water in there. The markings are on here, but it's not full. Now I'm going to go onto the motorway today, so I want to make sure that my car windscreen is good, it's clean, and it'll always remain clean. What I'm doing now is I'm adding some windscreen cleaner. So what I'm actually doing, I'm filling it right to the top. Here we are. Now the stuff I'm using, it works up to -2 degrees. Now that means this stuff is no good in winter, because when we have 4 degrees, 5 degrees, -4, 5, this stuff isn't going to work. So when you're buying this stuff, make sure you read what's on here. That's telling you there, protection down to -2, diluted. So what I've done, that's technically diluted. Now this stuff is good, it's not bad, does its job I suppose, but it's not something that I would recommend. The reason for that is just cheap stuff. So it works, does its job, but it's not something that I would use on my car permanently. So it's good for summer, it's not good for winter. Winter you want something that goes down to at least -10, -15, because usually we don't get bad weather, and when we do, it goes down to about -6 or 7. It doesn't go any more than that. Hence why -10 would be brilliant, and it makes sure that your windscreen, the water isn't frozen when you're using it. Thanks for watching. So because we're going on the motorway, I'm doing what I call my weekly checks. So I'm making sure my coolant, as in, sort of not coolant, the windscreen washer is full, and it is. So I'm making sure it's to the top. I'm looking at the brake fluid. Now the .3 and .4 is different specification brake fluid. So it's telling me .3 and .4 is good, and I would need to consult the manual to make sure that I'm putting the right sort of fluid in there. I'm looking at the side, the minimum and maximum is marked there. If in doubt, I can open it up and have a look, and it's full. It's up to the maximum. Place again, twist, and it should lock in. Then I'm looking over here at the battery coolant. Because my car's an electric car, I'm looking at the coolant, and the coolant is at the maximum level. That's my small 12-volt battery in the car, and these orange wires are the heat pump in my car. So I'm looking, everything looks good, there's no wires out of place, nothing looks broken, nothing looks torn. I'm now having a visual inspection of my tyres. They look good, no cuts in the tyres. So I'm visually inspecting my wheels, all four, to make sure that they're safe and that it's okay for high-speed driving. No punches, no evidence in terms of cracks or bulges. So I'm looking at this wheel here, looks good, looks fine, no cracks, no bulges, etc. This one I pay a little bit more attention to. The reason for that is because we train pupils, they're more than likely going to hit the curb and damage the wheel. Looks good, tread's a bit worn down, but it's legal. They're getting changed next week anyway. So now what I need to do is I need to check the air pressure. Because we're doing high-speed driving, I may put a little bit more air in to make sure that the car's safe. And because we're travelling at high speed, make sure that my tyres are pumped up and the tyre pressure is set at the recommended tyre pressure that we need. In terms of under bonnet of my car, there's only one thing that you need for your driving test, and that would be the brake fluid. Everything else here is not relevant anymore. That's battery coolant, which You can call coolant for your engine, but we don't have an engine, and we don't have a radiator because we don't have an engine. We have this here, and that's water for the windscreen. So I've topped it up, looks nice and dark blue. That means in terms of the ratio that I've diluted it to, it's strong, so it'll probably survive up to about minus. Then after that, it'll probably freeze over. To close the bonnet, it's simple. It's exactly the way I went up with the bonnet. So the lever is normally in there, so it's in here. You pull the lever out, push the lever into this part here, and removing it is exactly the same. So you push the bonnet up slightly, wiggle the lever, push the lever back into it. So what I've done, I've removed the clip by pushing the bonnet up slightly, wiggling the clip, then placing the clip back down here. The bonnet from about 6 inches let go, and that seals the bonnet shut. And that bonnet's closed. You can see it's closed by looking at the gaps here, and there's no way of you pulling the bonnet up. So we were talking about tyre pressure a few moments ago. So what I'm going to do is have a look there, because I'll have a car full of people. I'm looking there, and that's where the manufacturers have stated what I need to do, so you can guess which air pressure I will be pumping the tyres up to, either increasing or decreasing. So you can decide. On the left hand side here, that's telling me what size tyres I need for my car. So it's 215, 55, 17, and the 94V is the rating for the tyre. I believe that's 750 kg per corner. Okay, so cold tyres, inflation. So I need to check the tyres when the tyres are cold. It's telling me 3 people plus a suitcase, I need 36. If I've got 5 people in there, 3 suitcases, 36. So you can guess what the tyre pressure will be when I'm inflating the tyres. So I need to make sure that my tyre pressure is 36 psi. So guys, in terms of tyre pressures and in terms of pre-checks, you'll notice that when I'm driving my car, I need to make sure that my car is ready to be driven, it's safe and it's appropriate for its needs. So if you've got fuel in the car, make sure you have sufficient fuel for your journey, plus another maybe 50 miles. I usually have about 80 miles extra. My tank will be full when I go out. I'm going to do approximately 50 miles one way, 50 miles back, maybe 150 miles actually. Let's take them to Meadowhall. So we'll be going to Meadowhall first time motorway driving, and we need to make sure that we understand A, how much fuel we have in the car, B, what to do in the event of an accident. And we'll be going through our motorway driving course with the client. We'll also be making sure that they understand what to do in the event of an accident, in the event of a puncture. So thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to follow us. Cheers. Hi guys, okay, so before we do go on to the motorway, a quick recap. I'm Ayub, I'm an ADI working in Leeds, sometimes in Bradford depending on the situation, and now go through a couple of things with you. So what we've got a client that will be going onto the motorway today. Her driving test is in a couple of weeks. What we want to do is we want to make sure that the client is safe. The client, although your learning really starts after you pass your driving test, we want to make sure that our client is safe on the road. We also want to make sure that our client is able to navigate the motorway without any I mean, it's going to be hard anyway, I won't lie to you. Driving on the motorway is hard, but in terms of if you're learning with a driving instructor, what we tend to do is make sure you understand the road, and the more you practice, the more muscle memory you develop, the better you will get. So in terms of what we're looking at today is first of all, making sure she understands how to come onto the motorway, making sure she understands what to do in terms of coming onto the motorway and joining the carriageway, understanding where to position her car, understand what lanes she uses and why, understanding the dangers of changing the lanes early or late, understanding slip roads, understanding how the car works, what happens in the event of an accident. Hopefully, if we're lucky, use a smart motorway, understand how the smart motorway works, where to come on, where to come off, how the smart motorway finishes before an exit a slip road, how to understand multi-lanes, how to understand where, if you break down, and if you're unfortunate to break down, where to stop, how to stop, and how to deal with a breakdown, how to deal with a puncture, and why you shouldn't stop on the motorway in an active lane if you can avoid it, and if you do, what you need to do. Also understanding the limitations of the vehicle that they're driving, the limitations of mankind, human beings. So carrying on from where we were previously, so what we're looking at is the pupil from here going onto the motorway, understanding the difference between a motorway and a dual carriageway, understanding where she's going, understanding, and we're then going to go through the multi-lanes and a motorway, understanding how the smart motorway works, showing how to overtake in each lane, showing how to come back from each lane, and understanding what lane hogging is, understanding fuel efficiency, understanding how to and what to do while you're driving on the motorway. So we're filling the tank up, so our car will be charged fully, and then understanding the difference between driving a car with electric, as in a BEV, understanding a PEV, and understanding petrol cars and diesel cars, and then understanding the distance between here and there. So all being well, when the client comes in, we'll have a little bit of a discussion, and then we'll move forward and then carry on with our motorway lesson. Okay, so if you're driving the car from here to wherever we're going, don't mention the name because I don't want people knowing where you're going. Okay, so how many miles was it before? How many miles did we say it was?
It's like 34.
34. So 34 miles there, and it's going to be about 34 miles back. How many miles is that in total?
68.
And how many miles can I do in my car?
325.
Lovely. Now, because the car's heavy, it's got more than two people in the car. Your car, in terms of weight, some cars you have to increase the tyre pressure. In my car, if you needed to increase the tyre pressure or decrease the tyre pressure, when you open the door, there's a sticker there. I'll go through that with you once you finish. So that will tell you if you need to inflate the tyres or deflate the tyres. Now, can you press this button over here for me and look at the dashboard down there? When you do that, I want you to push this down button for me a second as well. Keep doing that. Keep doing it. One more time. And that's the different options the car gives you. That's economy driving and normal. That tells you the last person that drove this car was a little heavy footed, and that was your mum. Press it one more time. Mine goes down to 5 when I'm driving, so I really drive quite erratically sometimes. Press it one more time. Now press that menu button again. So we're going into the second menu. Now that's the compass in there. So that's the onboard GPS in my car. Press that top button again. And then press down. And that's just telling you, if you were driving a car for 2 hours, it'd tell you to take a break. Press it one more time.
Oh.
It's okay. Press it one more time. The same button that you're pressing before.
Yes.
So now press the menu button, because what we're looking for is the tyre pressure. Press that again. Press that again. So we're back where we were earlier on. Now push this button downwards. That's telling you the speed limit we're on. Press it one more time. And we're going to leave it there. When you drive the car off, that will illuminate numbers. That tells you how much tyre pressure you have in each tyre. Some cars, it will show you the tyre pressure. Sorry, it won't tell you the tyre pressure. It will just tell you that that everything's fine. And then if it comes on, it tells you that you have a puncture. Now, hopefully, we won't get a puncture when we're driving there. If we do get a puncture, it's awkward. It's a system that we'll go through. Now, while we're travelling down the road, we're going to follow the signs for the motorway. We're then going to follow the signs for whatever your sat-nav tells us. And we'll work on it together, okay? So first of all, we follow the signs for the motorway. Now, the motorway had a very unique colour. Do you know what colour the sign will be?
Blue.
Yeah, okay. We're following the blue signs. And we want to be following the sat-nav, but we also want to be following the signs for the M62. Yep. You know, that sign, have you ever seen that sign before down there on the left hand side? Just out of curiosity, have you seen it before?
Which one?
The one where that blue car is. When you go down there, read that sign. It's interesting. They've only put that up for about eight months now. Maybe a year. Yeah, just short of a year. And that sign tells you about vehicles going down that road at a particular time. So now what we're going to do, we're going to move off in a second. We're going to find the motorway and then do a little bit of driving on the motorway. Okay, so we're going to get onto the motorway in how many miles?
2.8.
And what sign are we following?
The M62.
So it says E. What does E mean?
East.
East, yeah. That means there's a west as well. Yeah. So we're going to follow the east. And in brackets it's showing A.
A638.
And that's the place we need to be following, okay? So as we're following the road ahead, we're going to stay very close to the divide line. The reason why we're staying close to the divide line is this lane goes to the motorway and so does the lane on the right. But this lane splits into two, that lane on the right doesn't. So this lane splits into two. Now we can see the sign for the motorway on the left telling you this lane also goes to the motorway, but it also goes towards Leeds. So we need to stay close to the right, so very close to this line as we're travelling down this road. Eventually it will go towards the motorway, okay? Now because the lights are going red, it's a good opportunity to close your window. So once we come to a stop, we'll close the window. Now if people are getting warm or cold in the car, we can deal with the controls to the vehicle and we can cool the car down if we need to, okay? So that sign there is telling us the motorway M606 is on the far right. So we need to stay in this lane when it splits, but keep to the right. So we're going to stay very close to the line. And now we're going to get closer to the BMW. And we can see the floor markings behind the black taxi. So we are now in lane 1 of the motorway. Stay in this lane, follow the road round to the right. So this is like a small motorway leading onto the major motorway. Follow it round, that's it. When you travel on the motorway, you steer slower. Your car reacts very quickly. Now we need to increase our speed. What's the speed limit on the motorway?
70.
Yep. So it's usually around 70. Sometimes it's lower, or it won't be higher. It'll be lower and there'll be signs telling you such. So now on the left hand side we have a slip road that's joining our road. Now we need to keep our speed healthy, so let's stay above 50. Let's get to about 70 if we can. Now look in the left odometer, and that's giving the driver behind you a chance to come behind you. Now if he was going really quick and he was coming into your lane ahead of you, you would let him come in. Yep. These, do you remember what these are? These 3, 2, 1s. They're your countdown markers to your exit. Yeah. Now we need to maintain a safe gap between you and the taxi driver. So you want a minimum of a 2-second gap. Now you can feel him slowing down. So there's either an obstruction or there's something going on there. Okay? We're not going to overtake him, we're going to remain in our lane. For the purpose of this part of your exercise, I want you to stay in lane 1 if we can. So that's another slip road coming onto the motorway, onto our road. So quick look in your right door mirror, but remain in your lane. We are not going to change lanes. What's the sat nav saying to you now?
Keep left.
Yeah, so we're going to keep left in 0.9 miles. We're going to turn left towards the M62 east. You see the sign on the right? That's an advisory speed limit sign. That's good. So we're following the sign for Leeds and Hull. Now soon we'll get like a little slip road on the left, okay? We're going to go into that road and we're following the sign for the M62, aren't we? So now signal left, and where the arrow is, where the taxi is, come into your lane. And now cancel your signal, stay in this lane. And what's the maximum speed limit now?
50.
There we are, and that's why they're slowing down. Now you'll see the traffic lights, they may go red. However, the lane that we are in, we are not controlled by traffic lights. So even if the lights are red, there's no traffic lights on your lane. So you are not subject to them traffic lights. We follow the road round to the left and we're following the signs for Leeds and for M62 East. So a little bit slower because that mandatory speed limit sign is telling you reduce to 40. Good. So you're in control. Gently, continuously steer. That's it. That's it. A bit more. That's fine. Now gently give gas and avoid going over these stones. That's it. Stay in this lane and pick up speed. We're not going to leave this lane, so we're going to pick up speed. Can you remember what the speed limit was as we were coming up this road? 50. It's gone to 50 now. My car shows 70, the sat-nav shows 40, and the smart motorway shows 50. That sign, the motorway sign, takes precedent. Now signal right, maintain this speed, and we're on a slip road, and we're going to come onto this road, but we're going to, yep, keep your 50, right mirror check again, and gently slide out when it says. Now cancel your signal, follow the road ahead. Now, as we're following the road ahead, can you see the sign telling you to move, switch lanes?
Yeah.
So you must signal right and move lanes when it's safe. Yep, let's signal right. Now we're going to stay in this lane, and when it's safe, we're going to slide across. So make a couple of irregular mirror checks. Once it's safe, very gently move across. And that's because the slip road doesn't let you go onto the smart motorway. That means the smart motorway is not in use, and it's classed as a hard shoulder at the moment, okay? So, as you're travelling along this road, how would you know that the smart motorway is not in use?
It's got X.
Yeah, X marks the spot. Been waiting to say that. Okay, so carrying going. Okay, what I want you to do now is, you know the mode button there? I want you to change it to cruise. Now, can you remember how I showed you push the button down?
50 now.
Yeah, at 50 miles an hour, set it. Now take your foot off the gas. Now relax. You don't give gas and you're fine. And in the distance, we can see the speed limit changing. Can you see it? It's changing to the...
Okay.
Yeah, that white thing with a black mark. What does it mean?
You can't go.
No, the white one, not the red one. The red one's talking about the smart motorway. So what are they talking about? This lane now is back to 70. So that RES, hold it upwards and the speed will go up by 5 miles an hour. So like this. It's gone to 55, 60, 65, 70. Now, bring it down. I'll put it a little too high. Okay, now don't get worried. It will slow down if there's a car ahead of you in your lane, okay? So don't get too worried about the cars in front. The only thing you need to worry about in my car, the smart system that I have in my car does not have a speed limiter. You must understand this, there is a difference. So my car has what they call ACC, but it doesn't have smart limiter. That means when the smart motorway goes down to 50, my car will only go down to 50 if the car ahead is going 50, or you physically slow it down to 50. Whereas newer cars after 2022, it's law in this country that they must have speed limiters fitted, where when it goes into 50, their car goes into 50, 30, 20, 10, whatever. My car won't do that while it's under cruise control. That light that just flashed caught somebody speeding on the opposite side. That means they must not have adhered to the sign. So because the smart motorway is telling you to reduce your speed, the person that was driving the car didn't reduce their speed, and it gave them a ticket. That means that person will get a £200, 3 points on his license. And it's usually people that are not paying attention to the signs. Now that's telling you to squeeze the wheel a second, because it thinks you've gone to sleep while you're driving a car. And then you squeeze it, let go, but you keep your hands on the wheel so you're in control. Okay, so we've come up the M62. We're now following the signs for Wakefield and the south. So the south, essentially London. That means you need to look at the floor marking or a sign on the left telling you to either switch lanes or continue. So it's telling us the lanes are narrow, so don't go too fast, as in be careful how close you are to one side. Now the overhead sign, the blue sign, will tell you what lane you need to be in and what speed is appropriate for that. So we're looking ahead of us. What's the speed limit now?
50.
We're going into
50.
a 50. So make sure we're going...
How do you turn it down?
click it down until it goes down to 50. That's fine. Personally, I'd just turn it off. Press mode and it'll turn off. You don't need a brake, just press mode. Now give gas and carry on. Maintain your 50. That's fine. So we're staying in this lane. Keep 50, don't go too slow. We're going to remain in this lane. As we remain in this lane at 50, we're looking for the south. So it's in 1.2 miles. We should see floor markings telling us as well, okay? And this is because they've probably got roadworks going on. So are we in the correct lane at the moment?
Yeah.
That's fine. How would you know?
Because of the sign up there.
That's fine. And the floor marking, it shows M1S, M1 South. Just be careful, somebody might slide out from your left and try and overtake vehicles. So be careful, that sometimes happens, okay? And because we're in the correct lane and people might want to jump into your lane, it usually happens 50 meters away from your junction, so be consciously aware of that. We're now going to remain in this lane, the lane that we're in, and we're following the signs for the M1 South. So we're in the correct lane. You see how he's doing something very naughty there. Keep to the right. And he's gone over solid lines. That means he could get a fine and 3 points. So we're going to stay in the lane on the left.
This one.
We're going to stay in the lane on the left here, because this lane also goes round the roundabout and we can turn right in this lane. So we're following the signs for London and Sheffield, which is what the map's telling you now, yeah? So as we go ahead, as we approach the roundabout, we will need to signal right, okay? So avoid going over this line, look at your traffic lights, adjust your speed, and we're going to go round the roundabout like we do a right turn, but we're going to do it in this lane with the right signal on.
Now.
Yeah, signal right, remain in this lane. So as we go onto the roundabout, we're going to keep in the left lane, we're going to go round the roundabout, and we're following the signs for
South.
yeah, M1 South. So where's M1 North?
What?
Just a question. You're going to M1 South. Where's M1 North? The opposite direction. That means on the roundabout, if you turned left, you'd go M1 North. Let's go.
Yeah.
I need you to understand how motorways work. So keep to the left, give gas and carry on. And there you are, look, M1 North.
Oh, okay.
It just makes logical sense. If you're going on to east, west will be on the opposite side. Although it sounds silly, it's true. We're going to follow the road round, keep this speed so you're in control of the car. We're still going round, keep the signal on. We're still going round. We're now coming off on this exit, but be careful, the traffic lights could change colour. So this is our exit. And we keep to the left behind this grey coloured car. That's fine. Stay in this lane and follow the road ahead. That's fine. Continue going ahead. Now, a long time ago, keep giving gas, the speed limit 70. Stay in this lane. Now, a long time ago, this lane used to be a slip road, but that's telling you now that your road, this isn't a slip road. The lane on the left becomes a slip road. So we have our own lane, but it means the lane on the left will come into your lane at a later stage. So look in your left door mirror. There is nobody in that lane, so remain in this lane. It's safe. Now you can't see any speed limit signs, so assume the speed limit is back to 70. So he's escorting the abnormal load, so that means it's a long vehicle. So he's making sure you don't get too close to it. Speed that we're travelling at is okay at the moment. Once we go past the obstruction, which is this large crane, we're then going to move into the lane on the left. Usually this happens at night. So once you see this big crane in your rear view mirror, then go back into the lane on the left. Yeah, so look in your mirrors, signal left, very gently come in, nice and gentle. And then once you come back into your lane, very gently build up your speed back to your normal speed. That's safe for the environment you're in. So do you know the car on your right that's got his window open? It'd be cheaper for him to run his air conditioning in the car than it would be to open a window, because you get drag with his window being open. So how far is your exit? So is it this one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So when you see the countdown marker, or when you see where the exit is, you then signal left. So we'll stay in this lane, and we're not going to overtake the lorry because he said it was it's not necessary. And you'll see another sign telling you where your exit is, and you'll see the floor markings as well. So you'll see a brake in a solid line on the left. There's your countdown marker. So signal left, maintain your lane discipline in the center of your lane. Then at the number 1 countdown marker, after that you'll see the markings on the floor. So left mirror check, and then come into the lane on the left here. That's it. But keep to the right of your lane, okay? That's good. The reason why we're doing that, if we look at the sat-nav map, it's telling us we're turning right at the roundabout here. So gently start slowing down, so you're in control of your car, and carry on if you think it's safe. Miriam, you're going a little too fast to control the car, and the knock-on effect of that is you brake aggressively then, okay? Now look at the sat-nav map. You'll be turning right soon. So let's pick up a little bit of speed, but let's make a lane change. Make the lane change on your own, Miriam, when it's safe. Yep. Yep. That's fine. So we're not turning right here, but we'll be turning right at the next traffic light, so whatever it is.